to place. And then you are able to find what you are looking for. So you've got two different ways of doing your hunts. And so we're starting with a scavenger hunt. Now, with a scavenger hunt, I'm just waiting to get my screen back so that we're live. So I will be back to being a host in a minute. And then I can change my direction of thank you. Okay, I'm back to host. Now I can continue. Scavenger hunts you can do in many ways. Your simple scavenger hunt for little children is to either color in a piece of paper or put squares of color onto a page. And now they go into the garden or into the house, depending on what you want, or a combination, and they find things that are these colors. Now, at first, they can just find anything yellow. But as they get older or they want more of a challenge, you can actually give them this sheet and they can go and find it and bring it back to you to your sheet. So you've got your sheet here, they've got their sheet here, and they can go and find what they are looking for. If they are little, they can even just take the little square with them and they go look for the square somewhere. Oh, I've got a yellow duck. I'll bring my yellow duck, or my chicken. Let me fetch my chicken. I have a yellow chicken. That counts as yellow. I can use it. I could also count as orange. If I've already got something yellow, I might choose the orange of the feet. And so they can bring you things from the garden, or they can bring things from inside. If it's cold outside, or if it's raining outside, then you do an indoor color scavenger hunt. You can also take photos of things that they have. Now, I've got virtual grandchildren because they're in South Africa. I'm getting my son to take photos of my grandson's toys. And then he sends them to me. I then make a little scavenger hunt up for him. I send the pictures that I've done back to my son. He prints them. My grandson looks at what is on my screen and he goes to find it. And then he brings it and he waves it at me. He's found something that is his. And that makes it personal. It's his. It's in his bedroom. It's in his sister's bedroom. It's in the kitchen. And he comes back with the virtual things. You can also just have a set of things from indoors. Go and find a pair of socks. Go and find a ball. It doesn't have to be the same ball. It might be a different ball, but it's a ball. So they've got many, many choices of what you're wanting to do for your scavenger hunt. You can also have a slightly more difficult one where you write things that you want. There's no picture attached now. Now it's words only. So going up according to age, you have different types of scavenger hunts. So as you grow, so they grow and they get more difficult ones. Now, let's have a look. Now, this is our color scavenger hunt. And our color scavenger hunt, you can have either just the color or you could have a red apple and red. Now, they're reading the word and they're doing it. They're finding a type of green. They're finding neon green. They're finding teal. They're finding dark gray, light blue, dark blue. And so you are setting a far more difficult treasure hunt than the initial color one. Any questions, any comments?
Very interesting. I never thought of this.
Ah, good. So
yes,
then,
very interesting.
Now you've got your pictures, a picture scavenger hunt, their pictures, your pictures, indoor scavenger hunt, outdoor scavenger hunt, depending on what you are looking for. And they bring them to you. So you've got that kind of scavenger hunt. But that's a bit young for the older grandchildren. So now you go for better one. You go for a virtual scavenger hunt. They've got to find these things on their tablet. So now they go and look in different websites to find a musical instrument, a square shopped item, something red, a stuffed animal, something to write with. So they go and look for these. They don't actually physically go and find them. They copy them and put them onto a page in Word or any kind of page. They then bring you what they have found, and you can tick off what they've found. You can also do a scavenger hunt in my room. You can go and look for different things that are in their room or even add things to their room. And now they've got to go and look in their own room for these things. Again, very personal and made easy for them. And then the last one is a riddle scavenger hunt. This almost becomes something like your treasure hunt, except you write the answer. So 1 sheet, 2 sheet, 3 sheets, or 4. Some use less and some use more. What am I? Toilet paper. And they then write toilet paper. So they're not actually moving around. They are it's a mind scavenger hunt. So they're following the riddles and finding the answers to the riddles. So if they're not wanting to be active, maybe they're stuck in bed, or maybe they've got a cold or something, then this is a lovely one to do. They don't have to go and look for anything. They've got to use their mind. So that's a riddle scavenger hunt.
Okay.
So now you've got a variety of scavenger hunts. Any questions?
No. Very interesting.
Good.
No.
Right, let's move on to treasure hunts. Now, treasure hunts are great fun because they follow the clues from place to place. Sorry, I'm going back by one. When they've finished the scavenger hunt, they must get a prize. Now, what you can do is either it can be something that they want to eat, or you have the dollar shop in South Africa, you have the excitement store where the things are inexpensive and you can get little little packs of things to do, or you can get little notepads for the older ones, a nice notepad that they can write in and do whatever they're doing in. Oopsie, upside down would help if it was the right way up. So you've got notepads, you've got all sorts of small things that they can then use afterwards. They've done the scavenger hunt, now they can go and do the kit that, or whatever I have found that I think they might like. There might be pin art where they pin brightly colored gems on it, gem art. And so they've got another activity, which they may not do that day. They may choose to do it another day. They might say, I haven't got time today. I'm going to put it away. Next time I come, I want to do this. Now they've got something to look forward to that they are coming to do. So now I can continue with my having gone forward and backwards. Right, treasure hunts. Treasure hunts for me are the greatest. I have 2 ways of doing my treasure hunt. I take a toilet roll, just an ordinary round toilet roll. I flatten it so that it's exactly in half, and then I squeeze in the top on both sides. It then makes like a little pillow box. And I do the same on the other side. That's where I put my clues. My clues are in there. So when they've answered the clue, they go to the next place and they look for the treasure for the little clue box. And then inside the clue box will be the clue that I want them to do. And they will either read it, or I'll show you my final one right at the end of what we're doing. But here are some clues. Get the first clue will be a joy. Look for it where you would put your toy. So they wander off and they go and find their toys. Now that you're playing the game, look in the place where we keep your picture in a frame. Now, there might be a few picture frames. They've got to find the right one. If you want to find more clues, look in the place where you put your shoes. Get up now and walk on your feet. You'll find your next clue under your favorite seat. You're finding clues and feeling bold. Now go to the place where food is kept cold. The next clue is easy. See if you can go to the place where you go to get clean, the bathroom. This isn't a wild goose chase if you go to the place where you can see your own face. Now, in Australia, they'd have to go to every room because every room's cupboard is a glass door, a mirror door. So they would have to visit every room to try and find out where, and the bathrooms have mirrors and every bedroom or room has a mirror too. So they'd certainly be looking for a while for that one. While you're up walking around, go to the place where you lay down. When you look for your next clue, you might plug your nose as it's hiding in a place where you store dirty clothes. You have worked hard to get every clue. Now find the last one. Go to where the coffee does brew. And there you would find I have a little box like this, a treasure box. And then if it's a big thing, I will put a piece of paper in saying what their prize is. If it's something small, the prize will be inside the treasure box. And so that is their final one. Now, my one that I have made is my final clue. I've used Morse code for my final clue. And so they get a little piece of paper like this, and on it is the Morse code. You can see the Morse code. I printed a Morse code. And then from that, I have written a message to them. And now they've got to work out the message to find out where to get their prize. So it says, collect the Morse code chart from Pops, that's my husband, work out the clue from the Morse code using the chart to find your reward. And then they have to work it out and find out where they go or who they get it from. So that takes a bit longer right at the end, and they get their clue. So there are lots of different ways of doing things and doing it. Now, children these days often are into a theme. They're a pirate, or they're a mermaid, or any number of things. You can also make pirate and mermaid treasure hunts. Yo, me lovelies, here be a clue to find the surprise. You must seek out a shoe. And now he can even put a pirate patch on, and the girls can do it too. And now they're pirates and they're off to look for their treasure for the day. And so it then makes it an adventure. It's not just something of, oh, I'll go and find. It becomes something really exciting for the younger ones. The older ones, you obviously make more difficult clues that they have to go and find. But little ones, they really enjoy this. They might have to bring the clue to you if they can't read the clue. And I will explain a treasure hunt for babies in a few minutes. There's one for girls who want to be mermaids. Follow the clue for the treasures galore. Swim that way, dear mermaid. The first is on a door. They've got to go and look on the door to all the doors in the house to find the next clue on the next door. And so they work their way through it. The final one, hooray, little mermaid, here is your prize. You're not only pretty, but clever and wise. So it's beautiful. You can make up your own rhymes, but on the internet in Pinterest, you can find so many different ones. Now, for little children, I do a picture treasure hunt. I take a picture of the place that they need to go and look at. So they get their clue, and it shows maybe the car in the garage. And then they zoom out to the garage and look all around, find the next clue is another picture. Now, where's that? Oh, I've got to go and look here. I've got to go and look there. So instead of words, you do it in the form of pictures. And that way, they can also have a treasure hunt moving from place to place, looking for different things, because they don't want to be left out when the older children are doing one and they maybe can't read, or they see the fun they're having. Now, why can't I do that? Well, they can. They can do it in picture form. And surprisingly enough, there are adult treasure hunts as well. So that can be a boredom buster when you have a couple of friends over for coffee and you're feeling, oh, we finished talking. What can we do? You can actually do an adult treasure hunt as well. So there are some amazing things that people can do. Any question? Again, you can use different prizes as your prize at the end. Any questions? Any comments?
No.
Any ideas? Do you think you could use
Yes.
these?
Yes, Sue. I use the toilet rolls and I flattened the top up, as you said, and I gave the children shells and they were sticking on it, and made it like little puppets and so on. And
Lovely.
then
Oh,
we used,
yes.
yes, then we used cotton wool to make sheep.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, you must come to my toilet roll class. You'll get lots of ideas. I'm going to add your sheep to my ideas because that's a lovely idea.
Yes,
I hadn't made sheep before. So that's a lovely idea as well. So thank you,
yes,
Mumsy. It's a really nice idea. Now,
yes.
sorting.
Mhm.
Oh, no, no, finish.
Yes, then I got them to do painting, where I made them paint the ends and stick it on the chart. I've got the
Lovely.
chart. It's kept away. I'll show it to you one day.
I'd
But it's
love to
very
see
nice.
it because that is
Mm,
all these sort of things are awesome to do with children. Right
yeah,
now,
true.
sorting. People go, oh, sorting, boring. But if you do sorting with a purpose, then
Yes.
sorting becomes amazing.
Mm,
So my mom had a button box when I was young. It was a tin box and there were some carolers on the front. I still remember it so clearly. And I would spend hours sorting her buttons and seeing if I could find six of a kind or two of a kind or four of a kind or whatever. So you can take your buttons, you can either have a series of buttons or you can get mixed bags of buttons that you can buy very inexpensively. And then the children can use the buttons to sort them to colors, to shapes, to sizes. And then after that, we make something with them. You could make a puppet, and the buttons are the eyes. They sew the buttons onto the eye as eyes. Now they're using something that they sorted. The older children can put them on their t-shirts, put them on the sleeves. You can do a variety of things with them. They are really great for that. You can also sort letters of the alphabet. And then when they finish sorting out their letters, they can make a sentence or their name or something along those lines. Then they can take a toilet roll, which is my toilet roll box. I've got to find the toilet roll box. There it is. I have all 2 liter milk containers, and all my things that I make are kept inside the milk containers so that I can find them
okay.
when I want them. Um, just taking a toilet roll, cut it in half, take some sticky
Yes.
paper, put the sticky paper around it. They've now put it on as a bracelet. I've got the
Oh,
power.
wow.
And
I never
and they
thought
can
of that.
put their initials on it and or
Yes.
and this is me, and all it is a toilet roll, but they have
Yes.
used the letters that they sorted to make what they wanted. They also can take, I got this, I think it cost me $1, all different shapes of shiny, really shiny, whoops, take a bigger one, like almost gems, different gems.
Yes.
Now they can
Mm,
sort those into different shapes, sizes, colors, and from there they can stick them onto all sorts of things. They can make a picture frame, and then when we finished with a bit further down, they can use that to put a picture in when you have finished sorting your pictures. Earrings, sorry, beads. Beads are another one. All sorts of beads can then be sorted. And when you finish sorting, make a bracelet, make a necklace. So there's a purpose behind the sorting. And when
Mm,
they're finished, then they've got something they can walk away with. It's not just, oh, it's sorted now, it's done. What can I do with that?
mm,
You now have a purpose behind your sorting. And that is also very important, that there's a follow through. There's something nice I can do afterwards with it. Bottle tops can be used in so many different ways. I use in one of my classes, I have a whole lot of ideas to what to do with bottle tops. But one simple idea with a bottle top: make a musical instrument. The bigger the lid, elastic band over it, popsicle stick at the back, makes a wonderful banjo. And it actually works, it actually makes a sound. And they can use their miniature banjo that they've made. They can make cars, they can make trucks, they can make catapults, they can make all sorts of things using the lids of bottles. So they have a never ending use. Candles. What do we do with the candles that we've got? We've used them once. They don't want a used candle on their birthday cake. So what do? We collect up all the candles, and when we've got enough, they choose a container, something they like. Maybe it's something they've even got and they really like it. It's on the chest of drawers. They've got it there. We melt the candles. We use the wax up the center, and they make their own candle. So, having sorted the candles into colors, they now make their own candle. They might decide, I want to actually put different colors in and then use a toothpick and run the toothpick through it. Now I've got a multicolor candle. So there are lots of things that they can do and have fun with. So
mm,
come up with useful ways of using what you have just sorted. Earrings. I have a box of earrings, and at school, I used to wear a different type earring every day. It might have been a teddy bear or all sorts of things. And my grandchildren took to sorting them out for me and hanging them on the cheese grater. That's wonderful. They all hang very nicely on a cheese grater. Um, but then they wanted some earrings, and they both got ears that are pierced. So I went and got at one of the shops some earrings, the fun ones. And so now they sort earrings, and sometimes, not every time, they are allowed to choose a pair to take home. And that then becomes their earrings. Because they're not expensive, it's easy to be able to do. You can get 10 on a pack of all different designs and shapes. Then they choose one, and that goes with them. And that's great fun. And they never know when I'm going to say yes and when I'm going to say no.
no,
So
yeah.
it's pot luck. So they really haven't a clue when you can do that. Then the last one for me is, I think, the most beneficial one of all: taking photos. Now, we have a large family. My husband has 9 children. I have two. So there are 11 children, plus their spouses, plus the grandchildren. So it's a big family. And they are spread all over the world. So they are sending us photos as the children grow, as they change, if we used to travel, now we don't. We had to travel every 3 months on a
Yes.
visitor's visa. Now, of course, we can't because we've got closed borders, so we're not traveling as much, but we're traveling in our area. We're getting to know our area quite nicely. And so that
Mm,
we then right up our passageway, we have these picture frames filled with pictures. But then they change all the time. Those pictures are changing and changing and changing. And so by what I do with the ones that I've done, I then put them all together in boxes like this. And when the children come, we take them out and they sort them according to who the person is or the family that they belong to. And they'll often say, "Who's that?" And I'll say, "That's you when you were small." "No, I didn't look like that, did I?" "Yeah, you did." "Oh, okay." And then they put their piles of the different people. They find out about families that they didn't necessarily know very well because everybody's everywhere.
Yes.
They've
Mm,
they've even got pictures of scans of babies. "Who's that?" "No, that's you when you were still in mom's tummy." "Really? Oh,
mm,
wow." That goes into the pile. And so you have a quiet time with them, chatting and talking as they sort out the pictures. And they really, no matter whether they're a boy or a girl, they enjoy doing it because the boys' ones are them climbing things and pulling faces. And it does, there's just such a
mm,
variety of pictures that we've got. And I discovered my son often sends me videos. I worked out how to stop the video and take a photo of a particular thing out of the video that I would like, and that I then put up on in the frames around the house. So we've got this constantly changing supply of photos there. And then what they can do is they can choose one photo, and I'll show you on, in fact, we can go on to the next page now. Because of that, you choose one photo, and then using popsicle sticks, they can make a frame. They can then take some of the shiny things that they have sorted or haven't sorted but know where to find, put those around the frame, make the frame very individual, very their own. They take that photo home and then they can bring it back a couple of weeks later and say, "I want to swap. I want another picture now." And they take another picture and off they go. So there's this constant change of pictures in their homes as well as in yours as to how things go. You can make a picture and take a whole lot of bottle tops. You can either put a mirror inside it or and then just hard cardboard around the outside and stick on your bottle tops. Makes a really beautiful frame. They can do that
mm.
for dad with all the beer bottle tops, if dad's a great beer drinker, things like that. So the sky is the limit with that.
Yes.
Paper,
Mm,
you can make into bracelets. You can make into all sorts of things with your paper once you've sorted the paper. Always have an activity if they've sorted paper that they can do, whether it be making a box. Where one of my boxes, you make a box, no sticky tape, no glue, depending on the size of your paper, makes a wonderful box. They can put something small, something large, something, anything into their box, and that is 4 folds. So it's simple, it's easy. I've done it with preschoolers and they've all succeeded. So it's not difficult. Simpler, the better. But another thing you can do with your photos is to take an old frame, and into the old frame, they choose a variety of pictures and we cut them into different shapes and we put it in here. And then as we go along, when we don't want those anymore, we want something different, we just open up the back, take those ones out, put other ones in. Now you've got a tray, and they can bring you your tea on the tray or your coffee on the tray. And you've got a beautiful tray made with an old frame. All you need to do is make quite a, if you're going to use it as a tray, quite a strong piece of board at the back, and you can just use panel pins in to secure it, some glass on the front so that the pictures don't get ruined, or perspex, and you've got a wonderful tray, a memory tray that can also change. So there are so many amazing things that can be done with just simple things around the house. You sort first, then you use them afterwards. And depending on the age, that's what they choose. But the memory one with the photographs, I think, is probably my granddaughter's favorite. Both the granddaughters love looking at those and finding out who's who in the zoo. Oh, that's
Mm.
Pops's son. Oh, that's Dad. Oh, that's Uncle Brendan. Oh, that's Marlo. Um, and so they
Yeah.
pick out the different people and pick out the different children, and they
Mm.
are then able to say, and then we talk about where they're living. It's in the Netherlands, or they're living in South Africa, or they're living in London. And so they learn about the different places that the people are living in. And so
Yes.
all of that works together very, very well indeed. Any
Mm.
questions? Any comments?
No, very, very
Mm,
interesting. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
yes, very much so.
And you managed
Mm.
to stay awake, Carol. I am
Oh, yes.
amazed.
Yes,
I
I'm still
am.
awake.
Oh,
Oh,
well, I'm
Shane, what time
amazed.
is it there, Sue?
It's nearly 1 o'clock for her in the morning, so it's very
Oh,
late.
Shane, man.
But
Yeah.
Carol, I'm delighted you
Yes,
were in class and able to. I just hope that it's triggered some ideas that you can use.
yes, it
Um,
has. It has very much.
Fantastic. Now, I've got a new one starting. I think it's on the 1st of or 2nd, it's Friday, and it's early in the morning. So it'll be fine for you, Carol. Mumsy, you'd have to wait for another day when it's later in the day. I'm
Yeah.
doing boredom busters for adults, ones that we
Oh,
can do,
fantastic.
things that we can do to keep us occupied. And that's one of my new ones that's starting at the beginning of April. It's Friday morning. No, Thursday morning. Thursday morning. But it's 7 o'clock in the morning, so it's much earlier for you, Carol. A bit late for you, Mumsy.
Yes, I know.
One, but
They've got classes at.
it is later on in the day, further on in the month, so you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Mm.
yes, so there are a lot of new ideas coming through, new things to do with them. Creating and building is another wonderful one. Moving toys, simple things that move, because as soon as you've made something and it actually moves, wow, now this is really something. So we make moving things from rockets to bridges to domino runs, you name it. We build and make different things. So there is so much that you can do with your grandchildren, and so much fun you can have actually doing it with them. So it's
Yes.
it's it's a fun thing, and all of these you can do virtually. Every one of these things you can do at a distance, because we do have the problem of not only the virus, but also they live on different continents. You can't be running over there every week to go and do something.
Yes.
So
Mm.
virtual works very well for all types of reasons. And so what I've done is everything we make can be done virtually. And so it's then can be a fun time with your grandchildren on Zoom or on FaceTime. Any of those things will allow you to do it. Right, ladies, I hope that that face at the beginning has now been changed into a much better face, a happy, smiling face when you have finished doing what you are doing with them. If you've got
Yes.
any ideas, if you've got any comments, please feel free to put them on the feedback. I will send you a link with your email, which you will get just after the lesson. There is a link where you can do a feedback on ideas, new things you might like, so that I can start building more interest. I've got 18 different things that I do, but I'm hoping to make it even more than that, so that there's a variety for people to see. Um, and then thank you very much for being in class. If you want a copy of the recording, you can just contact help@getsetup.io. And some of the other ones I do are moving toys, create from waste, simple science with your grandchildren, and cooking with grandma. So I hope to see
Great.
both of you again at some stage in one of my other classes. Have an awesome
Okay.
evening, Carol. Please go to bed. And
Will
Mumsy,
do.
time for breakfast.
Yes, my day starts.
Your day starts. Yes.
Mm.
Have a lovely day. Dave, Mumsy, evening, Carol. See you all.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Love.
you, Sue.
It's a
Awesome
pleasure.
class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.